Shalom. I'd like to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the elect of the nation of Israel. This is your brother Ayash Kabal coming at you with another lesson that I pray that you find edifying. Hey man, this devil is being found out on all levels, and he has been found wanting. A lot of his dirt, is being dug up, and and it's all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai that the truth is coming out against this devil, you know. But before I read this article, I'm gonna go into a scripture, and it's the book of Luke, chapter 8, and verse number 17. For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known to come abroad. So I'm gonna get into this article dealing with Esau, Edom, and his wicked kingdom. And this is out of the Workers' World, and the title of it is International Tribunal finds U.S. guilty of all crimes against humanity. And this is dated November 1st, 2021. It reads, the International Tribunal on Human Rights Abuses Against Black, Brown, and Indigenous People, you Israelites, was held October 23rd through the 25th at the Malcolm X and Dr. Betty Shabazz Memorial and Educational Center in Washington Heights, New York City, aka Turtle Island, Lenape Island. The main theme of the tribunal was we still charge genocide in recognition of the we charge genocide, the crime of government against the Negro people. A 1851 petition to the United Nations signed by dozens of notables, including Dr. Webb Du Bois, Claudia Jones, Harry Haywood, and Paul Robertson. The 2021 indictment is against the United States of America, represented by its president, Department of State, the federal, state, and policing agencies, and other government institutions. The following is an edited version of the findings presented at the press conference at the United Nations Church Center, October 25th. Go to the Spirit of Mandela Facebook page at blah, 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 blah. So I'm going to get into the background. The panel of jurists heard the testimony emphasizing the millions upon millions of indigenous and African peoples murdered, disappeared, and nearly exterminated over a period from 1492 through the present. Further, the witnesses and prosecution argue that the wrongs have been done historic and deliberate with colonization, racism, militarism, imperialism, materialism, criminalization, patriarchy, neo-colonialism, and internal colonialism as part of the larger process that now manifests itself in the medical and digital apartheid, chemical warfare, environmental violence and racism, divestment, and a pandemic of accessible guns and drugs, which the majority of the gun violence perpetrated by police and security forces in the false claim of upholding law and order. Statements were made testifying to new forms of colonialism, which include the prison industrial complex, the military industrial complex, and the commercialization of our health and privatization, commodification of all social services. The testimonies include substantial evidence of the erasure of histories, because that's what this devil do. He erases the history and then try to give you a new history, to try to paint their crimes as being justified or right. Reading on. Distortion and cultural misappropriation contributions to the exacerbates. Let me read that again. That the testimonies include substantial evidence of the erasure of histories. Distortion and cultural misappropriation contributes to and exacerbates the attempt in invisibilization and denial of people's basic humanities. The profound impacts of all these realities extends beyond the erasure and attempt to exterminate Black, brown, and indigenous lives. Hence, as one witness stated, the colonization of the spirit and mind continues to this day. And that's what America is founded upon. It's imperialism, it's colonialism, its idea of white is right, Reading on. The testimonies of this tribunal reaffirm the traditional wisdom and knowledge of Black, brown, and indigenous people. Strong evidence, nobody's Black. Strong evidence was presented on the indomitable, unbreakable resistance and resilience of the people's struggle for justice and dignity in the face of I can't pronounce that word. Salakia, egregious human rights violations and crimes against humanity. This spirit of collective survival shone through. The 2021 International Tribunal on U.S. human rights abuse against nobody's Black, brown, and indigenous peoples was initiated by a U.S. coalition in the spirit of Mandela. And, we all know that Nelson Mandela was a Hamite, but, Jake is just ignorant to these facts. Its own recognized legacy, based on efforts dating from the 1951 We Charge Genocide. The petition to the present rests on the idea that any extermination of U.S. human rights might be done in an international context. The panel of jurists came together as an independent body made up of legal scholars, human rights activists, and community leaders. Utilizing the international criminal law on genocide and other instruments, the panel convened to hear the review, the testimony organized by the Spirit of Mandela legal team. The accused, through informed, did not respond to the charge and indictment against them, nor did they appear as invited to present a defense. Let me read that over. Utilizing the international criminal law on genocide and other instruments, the panel convened to hear and review the testimony organized by the Spirit of Mandela legal team. The accused, i.e., Babylon the Great, America, though informed, did not respond to the charges. That's just how proud this fucking devil is, that they didn't even respond to the charges and the indictment against them, because they can't argue these things anymore. nor did they appear as invited to present a defense. So they were invited, they didn't show, they didn't even try to make a defense against the offense that they committed against you, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, which means that these devils don't give a fuck about you, nor have they ever. And at what point are you, Jakes, going to wake up and realize that this is not your rest? Reading on. The following is summarized and preliminary presentation of the testimony, police killings. The testimony was heard regarding an alarming pattern and practice of police murdering black, brown, and indigenous people with impunity. We're informed that a recent commission of inquiry found that black people are 3.5 times more likely than whites to be killed by the police when blacks are not attacking or do not have do not have a weapon. This data for other people is lacking. Disaggregating data for other people is lacking. Testimony emphasized that in the case of U.S. constitutional law, while the 13th Amendment provision, the abolition of the process of chattel slavery, it is in fact created an exception incentivizing the incarceration of people of African descent. You are not Africans, you are Israelites, and other peoples. Further, they argue that a school to prison pipeline has been set in motion by the racialized politics and programs of U.S. federal and state governments. One testimonial noted the law is used as a weapon of war against black, brown, and indigenous people. Further testimony indicates that there are U.S. policies of wars on poverty, wars on drugs, wars on terror, and others, amounting to a war on black, brown, and indigenous people as they disproportionately criminalize their youth and communities. So this system, well, let me finish reading. Arguments were made presenting the criminalization of legitimate political struggles, particularly of black, brown, and indigenous people. One witness testified that it's like a counterintelligence program on steroids. Several witnesses testified that with regard to traditional torture techniques, there is ample evidence of solitary confinement lasting for decades, which goes far beyond the U.S. constitutional definitions of torture that they defy any modern standards of humane government. Fucking hypocrites, man. Reading on, the further testimony was presented arguing that decades-long sentences have been imposed for those in prison for their political beliefs. One witness states the U.S. is the only industrialized nation in the world that denies existence of political prisoners. Environmental racism. Testimony was received arguing the impact of environmental violence. They asserted that the climate crisis disproportionately impacts black, brown, and indigenous people, constituting environmental violence. The prosecution contended that there is a deliberate and callous poisoning of land, water, air, and soil, reflecting land, water, air, and soil, reflecting and valuing of profits over peoples, which threatens the survival of the planet and impacts devastatingly the lives of blacks, browns, and indigenous people. So everything in this fucking place is designed to go against you because you people do not realize that this is your prison sentence. But yeah, I don't think I got. All right, so let me finish reading this. It's almost over. Let me see. The public health inequities. The testimony highlighted deep public health inequities, including both physical and mental health manifestations. Further assertions were made that the Jab 19 pandemic um, and an inadequate and incompetent federal response to this crisis magnified the desperate impact of structural racism affecting access to health care. Moreover, testimony was heard regarding the indifference to the suffering of groups of people considered expendable due to the profit model of the U.S. healthcare, leaving behind those most vulnerable. Slovakia, leaving behind those most vulnerable, which is you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. The prosecution argued that from forced sterilization to food deserts and chemical contamination from toxic stress based on the environment in which one lives to the criminalization of mental illness, black, brown, and indigenous people are neglected and left out of any illusion of the human right to health. While these crimes are well documented, they are more rarely so like they have more rarely been acknowledged, remedied, and addressed with some very distinct Slovakia, with some very distant from public knowledge. So they're not even acknowledging the fact that you are disproportional in this system. You know, these people don't give a damn about you. But yeah, I'm in it for that. If you want to read, this article, you know, it's in Workers World, but I'm gonna grab a few scriptures, and again, I pray that you find this lesson edifying. And I'm gonna jump to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49, in verse 10. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. You devils have spoiled everybody, especially you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, which make up the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. This devil doesn't give a damn about you. Even though this information is coming out about this devil, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is showing you that these people are the devil that the Bible speaks of, and you still ain't listening. I'm gonna jump to the book of Job. Chapter 20. And I'm gonna read a few precepts from that, and I'm gonna close the lesson out. And I'm gonna go to verse 4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphum of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite is but for a moment? And that's what these people are, hypocrites. Now here it is in the state of Virginia. They want your vote. They want your vote. But meanwhile, they do nothing legislatively to benefit you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Yet you people continue to go out there and attempt to uplift this wicked kingdom instead of returning back into Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, getting right, so that you can possibly be saved out of this wicked kingdom. But we know that 2/3 of you people who call yourselves black, who call yourselves Hispanic, who call yourself Native Americans will not do it. Because this place is just set up for your destruction. That's all this place is an altar to the Lord. Because you people don't want to listen. Reading on, verse 6. Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung, meaning this devil is going to perish like his own shit, because what he has done unto the nation of Israel should be done unto him twofold. Twofold. Thus saith the Bible, thus saith Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? Because it's going to get to the point where you devils are going to be destroyed so bad. I mean, this is in the kingdom. You devils are going to be destroyed so bad that it's going to be said, yo, do you remember these people? You know what I'm saying? Because you devils are going to have to be paid back for what you've done. Because all you have ever done was destroy the nation of Israel. Now, granted, we know that it's our punishment, or some of us understand that we are under the curses and this is our punishment. But you devils just went too damn far. You went too far with all of your abominations, your chastisements, the way that you kill us. I mean, even to this day, you still continue to kill us. Even to this day, you still rob us. Even to this day, you still lie to us. Even to this day, you do everything that is unrighteous unto the nation of Israel. And Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is going to pay you back. As a matter of fact, let me get the book of Obadiah. Salakia. Because, man, you people are going to pay for what you've done. I'm going to start at verse 1. The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith Yahweh power concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, but thou art despised. And the world is coming to despise everything about you. The world is coming to realize that all you've ever done was lied, cheated, raped, murdered, done all of these wicked things against the nations just so that you could put yourself in a position of rulership forever. But we all know that Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is coming back to bring you down to the ground, make you strictly powder. You're not going to be able to get away with what you've done. And even the world have seen what you've done unto the nation of Israel. And although they didn't stop you, they know what you've done. And now everybody is starting to come against you, devils. Verse 3, the pride of thine heart has deceived thee. You're prideful. You couldn't even go and make a case towards the things that you've done unto the nation of Israel. You were invited and you never showed up. You didn't go there to make a case. You didn't go there to deny what was done. Because you know deep in your heart that what you have done was wrong, and you know that you're going to pay for it. I mean, most of you people don't know that you're going to pay for the crimes that your forefathers have done, but you at least know. You know that you're going to have to pay for what you've done. Period. Point blank. The pride of thine heart has deceived thee. Thou hast dwellest in the cleft of the rocks, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Let me tell you who's going to bring you down to the ground. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is coming to bring you down to the ground, to beat you to powder, to make you pay for what you've done unto the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, which makes up the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. You people, Salaki, I got to get this. I'm going to pay for what you've done. You people are going to pay for what you've done. Your jig is up. The jig is up. Salakia up. Salakia. Let me get this. Where's it at? The book of Isaiah, chapter 14 and verse 21. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, because your fathers have literally created crimes against humanity, crimes against the nation of Israel. Even to this day, the fathers' children are still doing the same thing that they did of old. They've always had a problem with the nation of Israel. But this is it. This is our last captivity. All we're doing now at this point is doing the work and waiting for Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and he's going to bring you down. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. This is it. Because once this kingdom goes down, there will never be another Edomite kingdom upon the face of the earth ever again. Call Allah Yahweh Bashem Yahushai for that. You know, man, I could go on with a lot of other precepts, man, but I'm going to end it there. You know, I just wanted to bring this article out because Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is making this devil there. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is showing the world who the wicked is. As a matter of fact, let me get that. Where is it? I'm going to close out on this. The book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2 and verse 8. I'll start at verse 7. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let. Meaning, even back during the days of Yahushai, or even before then, the workers of iniquity were already doing their iniquity, and the he who will let is Yahweh. He's letting this devil be the devil upon the earth. Until he is taken out of the way. Verse 8. So who's going to take this devil out of the way? Yahushai. And the holy angels, and the 144,000, which Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Ratazah, I'm one of those men. Verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom Yahweh shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and the spirit of his mouth are his prophets. You know, telling the truth about this devil. Preaching prophecy, which are things that are going to happen in a kingdom that is built upon lies, by the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. And the brightness of his coming are those UFOs and those ICBM missiles. This is it. This is this man's last kingdom, his last hurrah. And trust me, he's going to try to go all out, you know, to make prophecy not happen. But he don't realize that by his actions, he's making prophecy happen. Call all Yabashin Yashab Hashem Rakakudash. I'd like to give double honor to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.